When it comes to music production, vocal editing specifically, I am nothing if not a perfectionist and a control freak. One thing I do that I barely see anyone else doing is using Melodyne to achieve what we refer to as the AutoTune effect.
Anything you say turns into a song.
Maybe just a little bit.
You may be wondering, but Maya, why on earth would you use Melodyne when you could just use AutoTune to get the AutoTune effect? And that is a great question. I use Melodyne because it's not real-time pitch correction, so I can make it do exactly what I want. Now, AutoTune Pro does have a feature called grid tuning, which takes after Melodyne, but is much less intuitive and honestly just far more annoying in my opinion. However, if you aren't able to drop $900 on Melodyne Studio, which is very understandable, AutoTune Pro's grid tuning is a great option. Plus, if you're a Logic user, you have the quite buggy, but frankly workable flex pitch, which comes included with Logic. Let me show you an example of what I'm talking about. I have a vocal that has AutoTune slapped on with the default retune speed of 20. And the key here is set to the key of the song. My mind. It sounds okay, but the riff is wonky. And there are parts of the vocal that are fighting with AutoTune. If I turn the retune speed down or make the value higher, I'll be able to eliminate that back and forth fighting feeling, but I'll eliminate the AutoTune sound. My mind. That's not what I want. I want it to sound like T-Pain. But wait, what if I were to go into Melodyne and do it myself? AutoTune works by quantizing notes sung to the nearest note in a given scale. Most of the time when we think of AutoTune or that auto-tuned robotic sound, we think of when the retune speed is at a very low value or when it's very fast. This essentially eliminates pitch waivers, so the vocal sounds very flat. And it sounds really cool. So to achieve this sound in Melodyne, first thing I have to do is just get all of the pitches the way that I want them, get the notes exactly right. This lets me tell Melodyne exactly what the riff notes are supposed to be, instead of letting AutoTune try to figure it out. My mind. Once my vocal sounds clean, this is where the important part is to get that AutoTune sound. There's a parameter in Melodyne called pitch modulation. All I have to do is literally flatten out the line to my liking, and that's when it will sound like this. My mind. I can get really nitty-gritty and do exactly what I want to do to this vocal, and I can tell it exactly which notes are supposed to be in the riff. But it totally sounds like AutoTune. Like, who's gonna know?